Hi there, Many Music families. My name is Richard Black. I'm a counsellor and I head up the organisation's Mind Health and Strength to Strength Counselling. A few years ago, my wife and I led a Many Music, and we absolutely loved our time with Many Music. We loved connecting with the different mums and dads and grandparents and caregivers. And of course, we loved connecting with the variety of wonderful, gorgeous children who came across our path. I still keep in contact with a number of our Many Music families, and some of them have asked me, Richard, how do you manage this time when the walls seem to be closing in, when the irritation level seems to be on the rise, when the anger seems to be increasing? As one person put it, how do you manage this time when the argy-bargy in your household seems to be increasing? Well, the first thing that I would want to say is, this is all very common. You see, right now, many people are experiencing a greater degree of tiredness. They're more physically tired, they're more emotionally tired. Because it's tiring being out of your routine, it's tiring facing the unknown, it's tiring having no gaps in your life, where your work life, your home life, your personal life, your children's schooling or preschool have all just blurred together, and there is no space, no gaps like there usually would be. And it can be exhausting. So I want to give you a kind of ABC of what to do as one way to help manage the tension you may be experiencing. The A stands for acknowledge it. Name what's going on. Recognize that this won't be an easy time, that we are experiencing greater pressures at the moment. So if you've got other adults in your house, then sit down and acknowledge it and name it together. You might want to name it to your children and acknowledge it with them, depending on their age and stage. Or you might need to reach out to a trusted adult outside of your household to talk with them, to acknowledge what's going on. You see, there's something very helpful and really powerful just in being able to name what's occurring. The B stands for breathe and keep on breathing. Take some deep, slow breaths and step away from that internal tension you're experiencing and cut yourself some slack. You probably are tired. This isn't easy. If you remain caught up in that internal tension that you're feeling, you'll just continue to wind yourself up. So take some deep, slow breaths and cut yourself some slack. And cut others some slack at this time as well. Remember that the people in your household are people that you love. You just may not like them very much right now. But realize nobody is doing this on purpose. No one is deliberately trying to wind you up or irritate you, although it can feel that way sometimes. Keep taking some deep, slow breaths. The C stands for clean up your side. Now, what I mean by that is when I'm talking with people who are facing tension or conflict, I'll usually say to them, it's important to first of all get on top of your emotional reactivity and your behavior responses to others. You know, whether we're talking about a spouse or a child or a workmate or a family member, if you want to get on top of their emotional response to you, you first of all have to get on top of yours. So take some time to get on top of your reactivity in this. And one way that you can do this is by asking yourself the question, not in the heat of the moment, but later. If I hadn't been irritated, if I had no sense of irritation or anger in me at all, how would I have responded differently? How might I have responded better? Or to ask it a different way, if I was in my most mature adult mindset, a mindset that we can misplace often, but if I was in my most mature adult mindset, how would I handle this differently? What would I do better? You see, what I find is that there's usually a whole lot of wisdom that's contained in that mindset, which is why we need to go find it. And as part of cleaning up your side, you may also need to apologize. Apologize for where you've been unfair, apologize for where your actions have been unhelpful or just not constructive. A specific apology always goes down well. The D stands for determine your need, more than your preferences. You see, what I mean by that is when we're in conflict or tension, people usually hold on to their preference, the way they want it to be. And our preferences then enter into conflict and we become competitors with other people. So I might say to my wife, what I want is I want you to look after the kids so I can get on with some work. Or she might say exactly the same. She wants me to look after the kids so she can get on with some work. At this point, we're in competition. It might be that with your children, you've got a preference of what you want to do, but their needs, their demands seem to counteract that. And we just seem to be in tension with one another. But what I ask people to do is peel back your preferences, the way you want things to be, and ask yourself, what am I actually needing under all of this? What's my main concern here? What's really important to me? You see, it might be that under all of this, what I'm really needing right now is to be able to finish some work by a deadline. And my wife might say that what she's really needing right now is to be able to get on with some work and see it to the end. Now, is there anything wrong with what we're each needing? No. Or I might say that what I need right now is just to have some time to replenish. And I usually do this by myself. My wife might say that what she's needing right now is some time to recharge, and she does that with me. Now, is there anything wrong with either of these needs? No. So let's put them together and ask, how could we uphold both? How can we brainstorm here to see what other solutions we can come up with? Or if you're the only adult in the household, you might need to think about what are the children's needs as well as what are my needs. And to now get proactive about how could I uphold both? What might that look like? You might need to ask yourself the question, if this was to happen, how could it have happened? It might be taking some time aside to outsmart your kids. It might be that you need to dial down your expectations for yourself or for your children. Or it might be that you need to have a tick list, that when the children don't quite know what to do, they can go to this list. And it may have on it periods of time of 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes, depending on the age and stage of your child. Whereas it might be about spending time outside, or colouring in, or playing with Lego, or reading a book quietly, or playing with your brother or sister nicely. But it's a matter of coming back from the way that we want things to be to what are we really needing, and then considering how could we make this happen. Knowing that there are limitations, so we focus on doing what we can, not what we can't. And E here is speak with empathy. Now, what I mean by that is speak with softness and gentleness in your voice. You know, the way that we speak with one another can either cause things to ease or escalate. In fact, there's a verse in the Bible that says just that. It says that a gentle answer eases tension, but a harsh response just generates conflict. Ain't that the truth? So you may need to take some deep, slow breaths, but watch the way you speak with one another. Try to speak with a gentleness or a softness in your voice. The last one here, the F, is fill up your tank. As much as you can, you need to replenish you. And so that's considering what is it that I need in order to replenish my tank spiritually, to replenish my tank physically or emotionally, focusing on the things that I can do, not on what I can't, and factoring them in. So, my friends, remain strong. We will get through this, and be gentle on yourself.